What's up? What's up? Welcome to my phone screener, segment producer, all things else that you could ever do. Helping Atlanta. We put on a wedding for people who lost their wedding in a hurricane, and they had to evacuate, and Jeff came in one morning and was like, we're gonna give them a wedding, and everyone donated everything, and I'm gonna cry thinking about it. It was months ago, but we put on a wedding for a couple, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen to see Atlanta come together like that. And then all the other community stuff, like I fell in love with radio the second I realized the outreach and the power that we could do to help people. So that's the coolest part of my job, and getting to answer phones and talk to everyone. This wizard is the coolest thing that I own because, get this, he gives me fire. I love him! He's my absolute favorite. Oh, Demetrius. He looks like a Demetrius, right? His name's Demetrius. Sup, Demetrius? My favorite calls are when people tell me I'm their favorite, because I'm not on air very often and it means they really listen. No. I also really like the calls when people are kind of mad at us, and then Jeff and Jen will actually talk with them instead of being afraid, and it's kind of cool that they're like, no, bring it on, let's do it, let's talk them through it. And one time at the royal wedding, one woman called and said we were giving them too much attention because her wedding was on the same day, and she was so mad at us, but by the end of the call, everyone in the studio agreed with her and were like, we feel so bad for you. Like, everyone cares so much more about the royal wedding than yours, you poor things. I moved to Atlanta from Pennsylvania when I was about to graduate college, and I needed an internship to finish my graduation. And I knew I didn't want to work in Pennsylvania, so I moved before getting it, and I came down here originally for TV, spent a year private tutoring, and I couldn't get an official job because I didn't have a degree. And then I applied for internships. I found this internship. I knew radio would be perfect, but I hadn't really learned about it. I went to school for music production and didn't learn about radio, which I think is weird. But I found this internship, instantly fell in love with it, and I guess I impressed them because they hired me as an assistant producer at the end of my internship, and I have been very grateful and lucky ever since because they're incredible, and it's actually my first job, and I hope I never ever lose it. Jen and Jeff, if you're watching this. Oh my gosh, so when I first got hired full-time, they tricked me into thinking I was getting fired. So this is my first job, so I didn't know what being fired was like. I didn't realize walking into a room with a bunch of your coworkers and HR being nowhere to be seen, nothing clicked for me. So I walked in and our boss is sitting there and he's like, unfortunately, you know, we don't have the stuff for part-time. Like, it's just not in our budget, and your part-time job, like, we just can't afford this right now. And I'm sitting there like, don't cry in front of everyone that you love. Don't cry, because, you know, it makes sense. Radio is a very volatile industry sometimes, and I was like, you'll make it, you did it before. And then they're like, but the good news is we'll make you full-time. And then, like, my head drops and I come back and I'm sobbing and I'm like, oh my God, health insurance, really? And you can watch the video because they had cameras hidden everywhere because they like to mess with me. Oh, Kelly Cheese. Kelly Cheese, if nothing more than the fact that I have dirt on her, and I would hold that over her mom. I would feel really weird calling Jen. Jeff would probably just laugh at me and hang up. And JP would come, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to admit to him. Like, he's just such a good older brother, and he sees me as this, like, nice, younger sister that like I could never admit to him that I was in jail until afterwards. Jen is the same way. Kelly Cheese would be like, girl, it happened! Help! Cats are amazing. Pants suck. Get some cats, put them where your pants should be, and just like hang out and love your life. And if you're allergic, I'm sorry. I am too, so you gotta power through it because they're amazing. And they suck too, but you know what? They're amazing. And you know what? Listen to the show, because it's a lot better than me right now. It's a lot better. Jeff and Jen are a lot better at this. Deuces.